Hello, my name is Laura Cole. I'm a senior researcher at King's College London in the UK, and today I will be presenting mapping models of residential respite in England for people living with dementia and their carers. This work was done with colleagues Katharine ORELLANA, Jill MANTHORPE and Kritika SAMSI, and funded by Alzheimer Society. Residential respite is when a person living with dementia has a short stay in a care home. It aims to give family carers a break from their caring responsibilities, but can also provide a break for the person living with dementia too. However, there is limited understanding of current use and provision of residential respite, especially now during the current COVID-19 pandemic. So, part of our Taking a Break study, part 1, we aim to map different models of residential respite available to people living with dementia across England. The first part of this mapping exercise was to contact providers of residential respite for people living with dementia and ask them to complete a mapping template, a document that contained a series of questions about their service, such as how do people access their service? Who pays? How much does it cost? And what services do they provide to people living with dementia who receive residential respite care? The second part was a workshop with stakeholders, which included family carers, care home managers, academic researchers and other care providers. And we asked them what their thoughts were on current residential respite care models. Was there anything new? And the role of residential respite in the dementia care pathway. Findings from the mapping template showed diversity in providers of residential respite care, as total beds in the services range from 6 to 210. Most were care homes, but a few were specific respite facilities. Some did not have allocated respite beds, only provided residential respite when a room became available. However, most had 4 specifically allocated respite rooms. Costs varied according to whether nursing care was required, but most charged weekly, but with a minority charging per 24 hours. Some providers had a minimum of a 1 or 2 week stay, however, others had no minimum stay requirements. And finally, most providers considered the use of residential respite as a stepping stone to a long-term move to a care home. Findings from the stakeholder workshop revealed a number of challenges. Often beds for residential respite were not always available, which made planning respite difficult. Providing residential respite for people living with dementia requires a different staff skill set. And providing care for people using residential respite and permanent residents in a care home could be a difficult balance. So, what will residential respite look like in the context of COVID-19? We are finding out with the second part of the Taking the Break study underway. We are interviewing people living with dementia and family carers virtually about their views and experiences of residential respite. For the carers, we have 2 groups, those who have experienced residential respite and those who have maybe had this respite suggested to them, but they have declined the offer and therefore not used the service. We are aiming to interview 20 carers from each of the groups. We will also interview 5 to 6 people living with dementia about their views and experiences and write these up as case studies. We continue to map residential respite for people living with dementia during the pandemic and plan to invite stakeholders back to gain an update on their views and experiences during the pandemic. So I look forward to telling you more about this study in the next Alzheimer Europe 2021 conference. In the meantime, if you would like to ask any questions, please use the comments box or email me at laura.cole@kcl.ac.uk. Thank you.